Hi, this is Dr. Westfall, and this is the second part of the syllabus overview for CUIN 4332 Literacy Assessment. So we've talked about your assignments, and now we're going to talk about the expectations for class, and we are on page 5 of the syllabus. So let's take a look at the first bullet. Students are expected to complete all reading and written assignments on time, as well as bring any requested materials to class. So of course I need you to do all the reading. You will do much better in the course and have a better understanding of how to be an excellent reading teacher if you do your reading, as well as complete your assignments on time. Now that said, I know sometimes things happen during student teaching. Your CT is out, or there's a program that makes it very difficult for you to complete your assignment. And I understand that happens, so what I need you to do is to be proactive when that happens. Let me know so we can make a plan so you can complete your assignment. Now, we don't want this to happen a lot because assignments are going to come pretty quickly. You have assignments from other courses that you need to complete. So we can't let things build up or suddenly it's just going to explode and you're going to just not be able to finish anything. So we're not going to let that happen either. So what you need to do for me is if you get behind or overwhelmed or you need help, you need to let me know so I can help you. We can't get to the end of the course and you're missing 4 or 5 assignments, and I just can't help you at that point. So let's be proactive, get our assignments done, but if something happens, you contact me and we can make a plan. Now I do expect you to attend every single class. As you're going to see in a little bit, there's a lot that we're going to cover this semester. Teaching reading and writing is a pretty complicated business. There's a lot to do, so I need you in class. You're not going to learn to teach reading by just completing the reading assignments or getting notes from your friends. We're going to do lots of things in class that require you to be there. It's impossible to make up a class. For example, we're going to spend a class time talking about how to teach kids their letters. If you miss that class, you're not going to know how to teach kids their letters. So it's really important you're at every single class. If something happens and you're running late, if you could send me a text or a classmate a text and just let us know that you're safe and on your way, that would be great. There are times when you might need to miss a class. I think a good rule of thumb is, if you're thinking that I'm not going to be able to make it to class, is to think, would I be absent for this reason in my own classroom? Would I spend an hour plus making lesson plans, getting a sub, preparing for the sub for this reason? And oftentimes the answer is no, I just need to buck up and get myself to class. But every once in a while there is going to be a reason for you to miss. And what I need you to do is to send me an email and explain and tell me why, as well as make sure you're proactive and make arrangements with a classmate to somehow get the information. It's not going to be the same as being in class, but I do understand that every once in a while there is a reason why you might not be able to attend class. Please know that if you miss 2 or more than 2 class periods, I'm going to ask you to either drop the class, take an incomplete, or you're going to fail. Because I just don't think you have the knowledge necessary to be a strong reading teacher if you miss 9 hours of instruction about how to be a good reading teacher. So you don't have 2 classes to miss. You don't have any classes to miss. But know if you miss more than 2, you're going to not get credit for this class. Leaving class early is highly discouraged. You cannot do that as a regular classroom teacher, so we're not going to start that habit in class. So please don't. Please make sure you've scheduled your doctor's appointments, your work schedules, your family obligations, If you have daycare, all those things need to be in place so you can attend class. Arriving late for class because you're printing is not acceptable. Print later, turn the assignment in later. Make sure you're in class. As well, I do expect you to participate enthusiastically in our activities. I know it's a little awkward to teach your peers or pretend you're a kindergartner so your peers can practice their teaching, but that's how we become better teachers, and that's our whole goal. Take every opportunity to become a better teacher. Oh, let's talk about cell phones. I will have my cell phone out. I have family responsibilities. If something happens to one of my children, they need to be able to contact me. And you are welcome to do the same if you have similar responsibilities. However, that doesn't mean we're sitting in class and texting with our friends about what we're going to do this weekend. It's distracting to the people around you. It's distracting to me as somebody who's trying to facilitate the class. And it's definitely distracting for you because you're not participating in the class. So just refrain from doing that so we don't have to have that awkward situation where I have to ask you to put your cell phone away. The same with computers. You don't very rarely need your computer out during class. When you do, I'll let you know. Otherwise, go ahead and put your computer away. Research is coming out pretty clear that taking notes by hand, handwritten notes, are much more effective than computer notes. So I'm going to support that research and ask that any notes that you take, which I hope you are taking notes, are done by hand. So let's take a look at the evaluation methods. When you're typing an assignment for me, I expect it to be double-spaced, 12.1 inch, all that good stuff, margins, on 8.5 by 11 paper. Some of our assignments, when you're administering an assessment, you'll have a recording sheet of some sort. Obviously, that wouldn't be typed. Running records aren't typed, so those sorts of things, of course, you'll handwrite. But any reflections, typically you'll want to type for me. We've talked about turning in assignments on time. There is a day where we are going to share a videotape of our small group guided reading lessons with each other, and there is an assignment where you're going to provide feedback to your peers, so you need to be here on that day. If you're going to miss that day, then you're going to miss 10 points of that assignment. Here's the evaluation scale. 95 to 100 is an A, 90 to 94 is an A-, etc. We need to get a C in our classes so we can move forward with either graduation or the second part of student teaching. Information about writing, how important it is. I am a stickler. When you turn in your reflections, I expect them to have been edited. If you have trouble with that, having a friend or somebody who's really good at that sort of thing look through your papers before handing them in to me is pretty important, because you will be marked down for excessive mistakes. Well, academic dishonesty. It's kind of tricky to cheat in this course because you're assessing kids and working with kids. So I think that's unlikely anyway, but please don't. It's just such a messy, messy thing when kids cheat. Oh my stars. Let's not even go there. If you need it incomplete, we can take care of that in a timely manner. Some important U of H dates and deadlines. We can see when spring break is 13th through 18th. That's when we will not have class. If you have a spring break that's different in your field placement, I'm sorry, we're still going to have class. The weeks before and after our spring break will be March 13th through 18th. We won't have class that week. And of course, May 12th will be commencement for many of you. Let's take a look at our class schedule. We will meet, of course, once a week for, it says 3 hours, but it's 2 hours and 50 minutes. We will use most of that time, so please plan to be in class for 2 hours and 50 minutes. The course is broken up into modules, as I said. On the left, you will see the module and then the date. So for example, our first week of class, we have class January 23rd, 25th, or 26th, depending on the day you go to class. You're not coming to me all 3 days, but the 23rd is my Monday class, the 25th is the Wednesday classes, and the 26th is the Thursday class. We have our learning outcomes, so by the end of this module, this is what you're going to be able to know and do. Generally, tried to write them broadly so they would fit in these little boxes. And then some of the learning activities that you will be asked to participate in. As well, in the final column, we have the readings that you will do, as well as any assignments. So in our first module next week, I'm going to ask you to read a Struggling Readers article by Richard Allington, which will be available to you on Blackboard. And then the assignment for this module is the data team meeting reflection that we talked about, and then it's not due till April 21st. If we go to the second module, it will be for the following week. We're going to talk about the observation of literacy learning. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about independent reading. You're going to be asked to read Chapter 2, called Everybody is a Reader, from the Book Whisperer by Donalyn Miller, an excellent professional resource. As well, I neglected to put in that it is, I believe, Goal 2 in the Reading Strategies book by Jennifer Saravallo. I will add that later. And then your assignment will be to complete a reading engagement observation, and I will explain that to you on that day, and here are the dates it's due depending upon which day you have class. You're going to turn that assignment into me in class. And then we continue through the semester. We're in Module 3, where we're going to talk about the assessment instruction of early literacy concepts for 2 weeks in February. So what you're going to be able to do, the activities we're going to participate in, the reading that you're going to do for me. You're going to bring your laptops on the week of February 13th, and then you're going to administer a letter identification assessment and do a little bit of planning and turn that into me the week of February 20th. Module 4 is 3 weeks long. This is where we're going to talk about the assessment instruction of beginning reading. You're going to learn to take and analyze a running record, as well as learn about text levels and planning a guided reading lesson for beginning readers. So there's a couple assignments kind of all together, and then here's some reading you're going to do for me. Actually, the reading is for yourself. I've done the reading, so it's for you. And then the next module, we're going to talk about small group instruction for more proficient readers, how that looks a lot the same and how it's different. Plan some lessons for that. And then depending upon your field placement, whether or not you're teaching primary kids or intermediate kids, you're going to plan a lesson for each, but then teach and reflect and videotape one of those lessons, depending upon the grade levels you teach. And then we're going to finish up with Module 6, where we're going to talk about the assessment and instruction of writing. And Dad is home, as you can hear by the dogs barking. At this time, that's all I have to say about the syllabus. I invite you to take a look at the syllabus on your own and bring any questions or concerns you might have to class the first week. I hope you're enjoying your student teaching time. This is such an exciting time for you. So much learning is happening, and you're really just launching yourself as a new teacher, and I'm very pleased and proud to be a part of that. So I look forward